Go make disciples. You realize that's the parting command by Jesus Christ to his apostles right before they're about to turn the world upside down. And yet for thousands of years, all over the planet, Christians and churches have struggled to figure out how in the world to put that command into practice. Why aren't we better at this? That's a question that has plagued my soul for years. So what is a disciple, and what does it mean to even make disciples? And if I actually figure that out, how in the world do I find time with my life to actually go and pull this off? I'm convinced it's not as complicated as we've made it out to be, but one thing is for sure. If you want to make disciples, you're going to have to be a disciple. And disciples are people who follow Jesus. They love God passionately, radically, holistically, and they love people with all of their lives. So let me break it down a little further. Let's start with this first command and the most important aspect of this, which is God. It all starts with being a worshiper, a God seeker. The first commandment actually is the first priority. Love the Lord your God. And it starts with a radical love for him where we seek him and we live out a lifestyle of worship. That's not just Sundays or the weekends, that's all week long. Let's make this the yellow arrow. But a true disciple doesn't stop here. Once we've connected with God, we can't help to get his heart. And God loves people. I mean, he loves them passionately. That's why once you get God's heart for this world, you start to look at the poor and the broken and the lost and the least, the destitute, the alone, and you look at them with new eyes. Out of our love for God stems an unavoidable passion for God's mission to go reach others. Disciples reach out to love and to serve, to touch the untouched, to reach the unreached, to minister to those that are broken and oppressed. But we can't stop there either, because once you've connected with God and once you've gotten on mission, you can't help but begin to live in community. It's really wild. People all over the world try to find community somewhere, but community isn't something you find by looking for it. It's the result of looking for God and experiencing mission with other people. Just like soldiers down in the trenches, when you've been living like this, you can't help but to draw close to other people. That's what the church is, and that's what disciples are. They're people that are not just talking about it, but they're living it. They're living in the green. Worship, mission, and community. Now, why don't you go be a disciple, and why don't you go make disciples?